When I came here, they were building this facility to start the vitrification process of the underground tanks and all the waste that were in those tanks. A lot of those operators we're using to take this apart were trained in how to operate it in the first place, so they're very familiar with the systems and the building itself. And we've used that knowledge to help us take it apart. We've also used a lot of the engineers that were here originally to build it to help take it apart, which has really helped along the way.
Currently, right now, we're getting towards the very end of deactivation and preparing the building for demolition. So part of that challenge was to get this VIT cell, which was the main process cell for the VIT facility, into a stabilized condition to allow for open air demolition.
To date, we've gotten all the waste materials out of the cell that were left from previous projects. We've completed initial surveys of the interior of the cell.
We did a high pressure water wash down to do a gross decon to knock down the heavy contamination on the cell walls and the floor itself. There was over almost 400 penetrations embedded in these walls, piping penetrations, that all had to be stabilized. We used the expansive foam in all the penetrations so they're filled so that during demolition they're stabilized for the potential of breach during demolition.
We are, to this point, 94% complete. And what that really means is we've done all we can do from a remote standpoint while working through these windows, using remote techniques with the cranes. And what we're doing today is grouting the floors to allow for those last few items to be done which could not be done remotely.
To deliver the grout to the cell from outside the building where the concrete trucks are, we got a concrete pumper truck set up, and then we ran grout hose in to a penetration in the cell itself, and we're able to deliver the grout directly into the cell through that process.
Really, it's a twofold goal out of that. One is to reduce the dose rate that's associated with contaminants on the floor, and secondly, it's to provide a surface that's adequate for driving a boom-type man lift into the building.
This will allow us to do manned access into the cell to get up to the higher elevations at the crane rail. There's some blowers in the ceiling we want to take a closer look at and be able to stabilize those better before demolition.
The grout going in is absolutely a turning point because this cell, when it started being operated, became completely remote. It was not safe for human entry because of the radiological conditions. We've taken the equipment out that used to be used as for the vitrification process. We've worked our way to a point where we can put people back into this cell to just finish that last bit of work for the open air demolition to be safely performed. So it's a big turning point to be able to make manned entries into this cell one more time.
It's pretty exciting. It's really pretty cool to be part of this group, particularly the folks that are involved with this particular job. Some of the folks that are supporting this, the operators, some of the radiation safety technicians, they've been involved in it since day one. And to actually see the building constructed, run through the process, and then see it demolished, we're seeing this full life cycle of the facility. And it's really pretty cool, I think.
We originally did our first open air demolition here of the 0114 building. A lot of the lessons learned from that was really an introduction to this site and that sort of work. That kind of experience that the workers gained on that building will help us in this building and buildings in the future.
They don't just make stuff off the shelf to do this type of work. So there's a lot of creativity that goes into it, and then you try to meld, I guess, the creative aspects behind making a tool that can do the job, be it something as simple as taking a smear on the wall or cutting a penetration or applying fixative into penetrations, and then seeing the talent of the guys that are used to doing those remote operations and bringing it all together. It's been a lot of fun. Challenging and interesting, and yeah, it's all right.
Plan right now is we're accelerating the removal of the canisters. So they're accelerating and intending to be done the 1st of 2017, calendar year 2017. So with that in mind, our goal is to have the facility ready to start demolition within the first quarter of calendar year 2017, which is approximately a year acceleration from our original baseline schedule.